Hey, good Sunday morning, everyone. It's Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Um, I thought I'd start a new thing. Hopefully, I'll do it weekly. I'm just going to call it What's Spinning and talk about what I've been listening to through the week and why I've been motivated to listen to it. So, uh, I'm going to start this week talking about a couple of good friends of mine in the vinyl community, Steve at All the World's a Stage and Gary at Physical Format Rock and Roll. They were both doing a Canadian theme thing. Steve did like a Canada week, and Gary kind of responded to it a little bit. And Steve did his ranking of Rush albums. And then I go over to Gary's channel, and he does his favorite Canadian album, and it turns out it's a Rush album, Farewell to Kings. So then they get me on a Rush kick, and then I got to put on my Rush t-shirt, and then I got to pull up my Rush album. So yesterday afternoon was Rush Day in the basement. I started off because of Gary. He motivated me to give Farewell to Kings a listen. It's a really good album. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Cygnus 1 is fantastic. X1, the song Farewell to King, Xanadu, Closer to the Heart. I mean, really good album. Next, I put on Hemispheres, one of my favorites. And the last song on Hemispheres is a song called La Villa Strangado or something. It's, oh man, the guitar in that album and the bass. Friggin' amazing. That's a great record, too. Then I followed that up with 2112. Another awesome album, and then got into my box set of the anniversary issue of Rush Moving Pictures. This was a really good box set. Rush does these really well. Comes with a book, and it's got the entire album, and then it's got, I'll show you what it looks like here. So there's the album. Always a fun album cover. Great label on it too. 180 gram vinyl. And it came also with a concert from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Rush's hometown. Live YYZ. Now, YYZ is the instrumental song on this album, which is the airport designation for Toronto's airport. So, this is a great live album. Doesn't like to go in and out of the package too much, but they do Red Barchetta on here, Closer to the Heart, Tom Sawyer, Vital Signs, Natural Science, Working Man, Cygnus Book 1, Cygnus 1 Book 2 from Hemispheres, Armageddon, End of the Mood finale, and La Villa Strangiato, or however you pronounce that, takes up a whole side on side 10, they call it. Starts off with the 2112 Overture, 2112 The Temples of Shrinks, Freelight Limelight's a great song. Camera YYZ, of course, Xanadu, Spirit of Radio. Fantastic set. This live album just rocks. Look at that picture. That's amazing. And then on the other one, I'm assuming that we get a bit of Neil on there. Yeah. Look at that. Very cool. That's a great set. So that was my Rush thing. But I haven't just been listening to Rush recently. That was just yesterday. I got them out of my hair. Well, that doesn't take much. Listening to a lot of Tuesday night. We did our Canadian theme on our live chat with Rob. Sam couldn't make it on Tuesday, so we did our because it was just us two Canucks chatting away. We did our top 13 Canadian albums, which was also inspired by Steve at All the World Stage Canada Week videos. So I had mentioned that Wondering Where the Lions Are was, well, Wonder Where the Lions Are. Dancing in the Dragon's Jaw by Bruce Cockburn was in my top 13. And I have this SACD, which absolutely sounds amazing. It's also available on just a regular Redbook CD. Anything, anytime, anywhere, Bruce Cockburn. Um, this is a fantastic comp, and it sounds so good. These are the singles from 1979 to 2002, and you get Wondering Where the Lions Are, Tokyo, Rumors of Glory, Coldest Night of the Year, which mentions my homestead, or the place I grew up, Scarborough, Ontario, Scarborough Horizon, he mentions in the song. Trouble with Normal, Lovers in a Dangerous Time, great song. If I Had a Rocket Launcher, Call It Democracy, Waiting for a Miracle, If a Tree Falls, A Dream Like Mine, and my favorite Bruce Cockburn song, which wasn't a hit as far as I know, but is just a beautiful, beautiful song, is called Pacing the Cage. If you've never heard that song, check it out. So Bruce Cockburn's been kind of getting a lot of love this week. Peter Gabriel, for some last weekend, my nephew Jack was visiting. We were playing a game and we put on some music in the background. I put on Peter Gabriel's album called Shaking the Tree, which is another comp. This is also an SACD. Sounds fantastic. But it's like a greatest hits comp. 16 Golden Greats, Salisbury Hill, Sledgehammer's on here, Mercy Street's on here, Shaking the Tree, Don't Give Up. Red Rain, Games Without Frontiers, Shock the Monkey, Biko. This is a great comp too. Oh, my album of the year last year was Kurt Weill's "Watch My Moves." I just love this album. It's even gotten better. It might be my best album of 2023 and 2024 too. It's just this is the this is like listening to this is like getting high on pot without smoking pot. It's just got this mood to it, and stoner feel, and it's just like I sit back and I feel like, geez, I feel like I just smoked a joint, and I haven't smoked a joint in 30 years. Watch My Moves, Kurt Weill. He just plays these cool little melodies, and it's almost like he's just coming up with words because he came up with a good guitar part, and it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the wall, and it's just there's something charming about it, and it's just a great frickin' record. The only thing wrong with it is it's not even wrong in my point, but 73 minutes long. And if you don't like it, man, that's a long 73 minutes. But if you like it, it just flies by. I think it's just a great, great record that just gets better and better and better for me. Kurt Weill, Watch My Moves. Oh, Dawes. So I discovered Dawes when their first album came out, or first as someone told me about it, and it sounded really Jackson Brownish, but just not quite to that level. But I found something there that I liked. It's the only Dawes album I ever bought, and then a few months ago I heard about their latest album called Misadventures of Doom Scroller, and heard there was some jammy stuff on it, and I bought it, and I absolutely love this frickin' album. Dawes, Misadventures of Dream Scroller. The songs are all really good. It's like pop music with a real Southern California Eagles, Jackson Brown style, and they've expanded the songs so there's a bit longer instrumentals. They don't go off crazy or anything. They're very melodic and they fit with the songs. It's just a fantastic record. I absolutely love this album. Check that out, Dawes. What else have I got? I'm continuing to explore this. Like, this is just an unbelievable set that Steven Wilson came out. Intrigue. I did a video on it already. It's a compilation of alternative tracks, kind of more experimental, out there kind of stuff from the 80s. And wow, I'm just finding some amazing stuff on here. But bands like Wire, Magazine, Public Image Limited, The Stranglers, Gang of Four, Simple Minds, even Robert Fripp and the League of Gentlemen are on here. In Camera, Joy Division. I mean, XTC. Everybody's on here from the '80s, but just not really hit stuff. It's more, just these bands branching out a little bit. But what a great set, man! It's fantastic. If you get a chance, if you're, it's just a great comp. Well worth owning. Trust me. What else? A couple more things. I'm reading Miles Davis autobiography. Now, I've read my biography on Miles Davis. Can't remember who the author was, which I quite enjoyed. That was a few years ago. And so I'm right in the middle of Miles's biography. If you've never read autobiography, if you've never read it, it's quite a read. It's a mother effer of a book. If you've read the book, you'll understand the joke. Really enjoyed it. I love Miles, so I finally got Kind of Blue on vinyl. So I've been really loving this album. I'm kind of in the part of the book now where he has this quintet together and talking about in the studio how they recorded this album and his thought process behind coming up with the songs, and very cool. But this is just like a masterpiece, one of the great albums of all time. And last but not least, Patricia Barber. I know I've talked about her before. I absolutely love this artist. She's a jazz singer from Chicago. Plays piano. Plays very sparse arrangements of songs. Has a great band with her all the time. It's very roomy music, atmospheric. It's not your typical jazz. It almost sounds like psych jazz sometimes. She also plays some more, what I guess, songs that aren't really in the jazz genre, like The Beat Goes On and Ode to Billy Joe and stuff like that. But anyway, so her classic album is called Cafe Blue, and this is an original Mo-Fi recording, SACD, which is regarded as one of the greatest sounding pieces of music you'll ever own. It's fantastic. I absolutely love this album, and it's worth a couple of bucks. Anyway, I wanted it on vinyl. I can't afford the Mo-Fi one. And besides that, the original Mo-Fi, they cut the album down to 8 songs from 12, which I'm not into at all. And there's a one step, but it's 45 RPM. Even though it was expensive, I would have bought it if it was 33. It's I still might get it one day, but it's really expensive. If I can find it for a good price, I would buy it. Anyway, so I got my friend Tim at Zap Records. I asked him if he could get me a vinyl copy of Cafe Blue, and he came through with just a regular, it's not Mo-Fi, it's just a regular edition of this album, and it sounds fantastic. I love it. I mean, this is just such a well-recorded record. It was digitally recorded, but it has a real analog sound to it, in my opinion, and 2 records set on the Premonition label. This has been getting a lot of play in my house too. It sounds really, really good. There's a couple of parts in the SCCD where I think the high notes kind of are a bit ear-piercing. On the album, they've toned that down, which I really am happy about. So that's it, man. That's what I've been up to. Hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. We will see you on Tuesday for a live chat, maybe before then for another video. Please subscribe, please push the thumbs up button, and please comment. I love your comments. Take care.